Yo, it's your boy Jen. On today's video, we got yet another forgotten anime, and this one we have is called Charlotte. And these are the same creators who did Angel Beats, which we made a video about like a couple of weeks ago. So there's that. And yeah, both of them have actually some kind of similar things. You know, fishing, baseball, someone like doing some amazing singing. And the characters also kind of look similar, but a little bit different. There's also 13 episodes, so yeah, these creators have kind of something similar, but it's very different. And yeah, there's a lot to talk about this anime series, and I'm just gonna give you guys, what I like, what I dislike, and there are some plot holes here with this show, and there's a lot to it too. So I'm not gonna go to like every single detail. So I'm gonna try to make it really fast and just give away my opinion. In the story, it follows a character named Yu Otosaka, and at first his power would kind of sound like it's lame. We found out later on it's actually way overpowered, and that is that he can like transform into someone's body, but only for 5 seconds. Now Yu Otosaka, at first he kind of was like a very selfish person. He was very dislikable in the beginning. He would like use his powers for no good. He would like transform into a girl just to peep at her, and there's really nothing he could have done for like his power with just 5 seconds. So his one big idea was that he was going to cheat his way to school, and yeah, this plan was working so far that he became like this #1 student at this prep school. And yeah, he was like the most popular, the most attractive. He did a lot of bad things in the beginning where like he almost like risked someone's life there. And yeah, everything was going his way until he got caught by Nao Tomori, who was actually like investigating him. And yeah, she was like the head of like the student council of like this academy, of this school academy, where they take in kids who have like these powers too, and they try to stop these kids from using these powers because there's these government people who will experiment on them. And we learned that Naotomori's like brother was like experimented on, and it was pretty dark of when we saw him getting experimented on. And once they were finished with him, he was not the same person. He was like not the same. Like he had no emotion in his face. And yeah, I would say I like Naotomori. She would always have like this camera. Her power was that she could turn invisible, but one person could only see her. And she's kind of also like the love interest for Yu Otosaka. At first, they really hated each other in the beginning. I'm pretty sure, probably because she saw him being like really selfish. But later on, Yu Otosaka, he kind of learns not to be this kind of douche, and he becomes more likable in later episodes. And there's also other characters who I really love, like Jojuro Takajo. I think he was like the most funniest. His power was that he can teleport, but he can't really control where he stops. So he will always crash in like buildings, glass, and he will always start bleeding. It was pretty funny. And he also was like a fan of this girl idol. He was very like, he was fangirling this whole time, and it was like a major turnoff for Naotomori, and it was really hilarious. And yeah, I would say the first 6 episodes, they were kind of like the same. I would say Yu Otosaka goes to this school for the ability, and their mission was that they had to go and find other students using their powers and try to stop them. And yeah, most of the characters they meet to stop them, they're mostly forgettable. The only one that was memorable was Yusa Nishimori, and she's the same star idol that was Yu Otosaka's big fan of. So that was pretty funny. Coincidentally, what are the chances of them meeting? Yeah, kind of forced there, but it's fine, guys. It was fine. And yeah, I would say things got really interesting around the 6th episode. I haven't talked about this, but Yu Otosaka, he has this little sister called Ayumi, and yeah, she's very adorable, cute. Even though Yu Otosaka started off being like a real jerk, we found out like at home he really does care about his sister. He will like take care of her, and he will even eat her food. even though it would be like too sweet. And yeah, we found out that she might have like this power called collapse, but we don't really know if it was her or not. And it turns out it was her. They were trying to find her, but she was at school. And yeah, we found out that she was getting threatened by a bully, and this girl had like a pocket knife with her, and Ayumi was getting scared and freaked out, and this is where this triggered her powers, and the whole school like collapsed on her, and sadly she has passed away. And yeah, this was really dark, guys. I did not see that coming. Yu Otosaka like saw this, and you know, he kind of lost it. He became very depressed. He was just standing in his room for like I don't know how long. Yeah, he would just sit in the couch and just do nothing, and he just decided to run away, and he was going down like very wrong. He was not going in the right path. He would just eat junk food. He would start fights for no reason, and he will eventually find drugs. And he was about to do these drugs until now Tomori stops him. And we found out that she was there with him this whole time, as she felt responsible for Ayumi's death because she is like the leader of the council member. So, and she could have done like a better plan for Ayumi's. But yeah, she felt very responsible. If he goes down this path, it is not good. And yeah, they made a bet together where she was going to make him food, and that if he liked this food, that he would go back to like the student council member, and if he didn't, then she would leave him forever. This was the same food that his sister Ayumi made and his mother made. And yeah, he started to cry, and he ate the whole food, and he kind of came back to normal after this. Yeah, now Tomori actually, you know, the love interesting. They kind of went on a date actually. She wanted to see like this rock band, and fast forward a bit, this music would trigger something for Yu Otosaka, and we found out that he had this trigger memory, and he remembers something, and that is he found out that he has like an older brother, and they actually teased this in other episodes. So I kind of wasn't shocked, but I was interested in what was going on. And yeah, as soon as he remembers this, we found out that there's other character, Takehito Kumugami. We found out that he's the one who tracks other abilities. That's his power. He can track other abilities. We found out that he knew his brother, and he took him to him, and we met him, and his name was Shunsuke Otosaka, and he basically explains what was really going on. We found out that he has the power to time travel, first of all, and yeah, that's kind of crazy. So there was a time where him and Yu Otosaka and Ayumi, they were like in this facility where they were being experimented on by scientists. Yeah, it was really bad. They will be getting experimented on. So Yu Otosaka had to like break out his brother, and it actually worked. So he will always try to go back and fix it, so that they don't get experimented on, right? And it seems like no matter how many times he does it, they always will find him. And not only that, but every time he uses his power, he becomes more blind. So time and time again, he had like more or less time to do this power, and who knows how many times he's done it. And like in the last final time he's going to do it, when he goes fully blind like one more time, he had to think of like an idea, and his idea was that he was going to build like a school, and it turns out it was a good idea. And now we're like in a future present. Now Shunsuke, not gonna lie guys, I feel like he did like a lot of problems here. And the first problem he decided to do was that he wanted to erase his memory from Yu Otosaka and Ayumi. Now I don't know why he did this. He said it was for their safety reason, and he wanted to become like anonymous so no one knows he really exists. And I feel like this didn't work out, because in the end you literally just met with your brother. So there's no point of them erasing your memory because you just met him. So yeah, I just didn't understand him erasing his memory. And yeah, we learned that he's also blind. He cannot use his powers no more. But we found out about Yu Tosaka's power, and that was that he can plunder, meaning that he can like take away other people's abilities and use them himself. He uses his time travel ability to save his sister Ayumi. And by the way, Shunsuke, he knew about her ability, but he decided to not do anything. Yeah, technically Ayumi's death was his fault as well, because or he erased their memory so they didn't know about her powers, but he did, and I did not know why he didn't stop her from I just didn't know why he let them live like a normal life. Why didn't he let them go to this school, like this school for the power? It's just, yeah, so that's why one big plot hole there. Yu Tosaka goes back in time to save his sister, and it was like a mission successful. And yeah, all of this happened in like 1 or 2 episodes, so yeah, they kind of really rushed it here. And there's some plot holes here with the time travel. Yeah, this is why you don't do time travel, guys, because there's already plot holes here. So yeah, now Tomori never like saves him from his depression. That never happened, and he never went to like this date with her. And they also met this blind girl. She's like a singer, and she actually helps Naotomori's brother somehow with her amazing music, where she sang in front of him at the hospital, and this kind of made him go back to normal just a bit. So I'm guessing that never happened, or they never went back to it, so it was just weird. After all that happened, they get Ayumi meets like the brother, and she doesn't know who he is. It was just like dumb, because now you met with him, and literally like a couple episodes later, we find out that there are these terrorist people here, and they actually captured Takehito Kumugami. And yeah, they had like this crazy plan for many years, what it seems like. So these terrorists, they somehow knew about all of this. I don't know how. They never went into a lot of details here. They had this adult driver that would take these kids to like places, right? And we found out that terrorists had his family like as a hostage for like many years. Yeah, their plan was that they captured Takehito, and they were going to torture him and give him like truth serum, where he was going to tell him everything, and which he sadly did. And yeah, and what these terrorists wanted was Yu Tosaka, and they wanted that plundered powers. These terrorists were no good. They decided to capture Naotomori so they can get Yu Tosaka. And now there's like a huge hostage situation here. Now, a lot of you will say like, why not go back in time? Unfortunately for them, they kept this hostage before they even built the school. So it was like a couple years ago now. I don't know the exact time here, but it will take forever for them to go back in time, and you can't really make Yu Tosaka go that far as what they said. But I don't know, man. You are dealing with like terrorists, literally terrorists here, and they already tortured your friend, and they captured Naotomori, which they like strip off her clothes too for whatever reason. So yeah, these guys were really dangerous, and I don't know why. Their idea was that they wanted to make Yu Tosaka go to this abandoned building by himself. And yeah, this whole plan was bad for both parties. First of all, you're not gonna be able to negotiate with these terrorists because they're terrorists. So that was like a bad start. He went to this building by himself, and yeah, they didn't want him to use his time travel abilities. So there's this character who like sneak attack him and cut his eye so he wouldn't beat time travel. Yeah, this kind of made him trigger, uses the collapse powers. Yeah, he kind of lost control, and the whole building went down. Luckily for Yu Tosaka, he didn't die. No one died here. Only one person actually died, and that was Takehito. And he would die protecting Naotomori's life. And yeah, his death was pretty horrible. And yeah, you can't really go back in time. Yeah, I just didn't like this whole story here, or this whole plan. I think the safe bet was that they had to go time travel, and if it was to save Takehito and Naotomori and sacrifice the other guys as hostages, I think that would have been fine. We don't even know who they were, by the way. We just know that they were just hostages, and we don't even know if they were alive because it was so many years. Like, are you sure they've been even alive? They didn't show proof. And yeah, there's like a lot of plot holes here. And yeah, sadly, Takehito Kumogami, he was the only one who died. Naotomori, she was fine. She didn't look like she has like PTSD from it because she was kind of knocked out from it for the most part. And Yu Otosaka was really injured. And we found out that there will be more terrorists coming to Japan for his power. And yeah, they don't know what to do. So now Naotomori just gives one dumb random idea. Is like, why don't you just plunder everyone in the whole world? And at first when I heard this, like, yeah, that's really impossible. And Yu Otosaka's like, you know what, you're right, I'll do that. And, you know, she was like joking at first, but now he seems like really serious. He does this crazy idea. He goes all around the world, and honestly, I did not believe. I don't know how he was able to do this without dying. But you know, the more powers he got, the more he looked like he was going insane. And the only thing that kept his sanity was his note card. And this note card was the one Naotomori gave him. And I don't know, I feel like a picture of her would have been better for him to become sane. Or maybe her voice. That would have been better. And yeah, eventually he goes to all around the world and gets all these powers, and there is no more powers left. And just when he got the last one, he kind of got shot by arrows and he was about to die, and he was saved in the nick of time. And they found out exactly where they were. Yeah, there's this helicopter with Shunsuke in there, and they found him exactly where he was. I don't know how. They don't have power tracing abilities, but whatever. So he comes back to the Japan. And Naotomori was the first one there, and it was like, yeah, yep. They kind of made a bet with each other, where if he comes back, then they become like lovers or something like that, and they become lovers. Now I guess they're now together. I kind of wish they had like a kissing moment here, but we don't. And unfortunately for Yu Otosaka, he lost his memory, so he does not remember her, or I don't really remember what. He doesn't seem like to remember nothing. And I don't know, I guess that was kind of lame. And yeah, they go to like this beach, and they decide to record a new memories for him. And even though I kind of didn't like the way they did it, you know, it felt very rushed in the ending. I thought that him plundering every person in the world is just insane, impossible. There's no way. And also, whenever he was plundering the whole world, we find this healer, and she could have healed, and with her powers, he could have healed his eye, right? The one that got damaged, and then you could have went time traveling there. But I'm guessing the creators are like, you know what? Yeah, they kind of decided not to do that because you would have like a whole crazy story there, and they only had like. And that was the last episode too, so, and there was like almost ending. So yeah, the creators probably thought, you know what, I don't know why they decided to put that there. It was just weird. That's about it for Charlie. I know there's a lot for it, so I don't know what I'm gonna skip. But yeah, guys, I feel like there's a lot of plot holes here, probably because of that time travel thing here. They kind of there's only 13 episodes, so I can see why they rushed a lot of stuff here, but you know, what can you do, guys? So yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts of Charlotte. It's one of those smaller shows, came in back in 2015, so I'm not sure how many people will even remember it. And yeah, guys, that's the end of the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.